Ahoy, matey! It is me, Holland Timmons, and welcome to Pirate Reviews. Today we'll be looking at Errol Flynn and the Seahawk. Named after the Raphael Sabatini novel, unlike Captain Blood, he didn't have much of a involvement in writing the screenplay. So while this is called The Seahawk, and they say it's based off his book, I think it's more of a loose telling of it, if it has anything to do at all with the book. So anyway, cool thing about this is Pirates of the Caribbean also drew from this movie. For example, Errol Flynn, his character, actually has a pet monkey in there with clothing on. It's actually quite cute. Anyway, one of my favorite pieces of dialogue in the movie is when Errol Flynn is talking to his monkey and he's like, there really is no place for a monkey in this palace. Then he thinks about it and he's like, come to think of it, there are too many monkeys in this palace. Okay, so Errol Flynn plays a privateer, and he's working for the Queen. I'm trying to remember. I think it's Queen Elizabeth. It is Queen Elizabeth he's working for. It has to do with the Spanish Armada, like going to invade England. Well, it has to do with the Spanish Armada. It's more about like the aggression of Hitler going across Europe, and it's really entertaining propaganda to get people ready to fight. Thing is, it's not really propaganda until the ending, and even then, it's veiled propaganda. But despite that, this is a really good movie. There's this scene where they're in Central America and they use a tint on the black and white image. So it seems like it's a different color than the rest of the film because, again, it's a tinted color, but you're not going to see any real color. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you see this, and Errol Flynn engages in a really epic sword fight near the end as he's fighting his way through the palace. He meets his mortal nemesis in this movie, and they lock swords, and they go throughout the room, and you see Errol Flynn is at the top of his form in terms of sword fighting. He's advanced far beyond where he was in Captain Blood, and he's become pretty much a master, I want to say, though, at stage sword fighting. They go throughout the room of the palace and they're cutting out the candles until they reach the point where all the candles have been sliced out, so they're fighting in the shadows in the moonlight, which is really cool because, again, this is directed by Michael Curtiz. And he's really good with the shadows because, again, I think he's worked in German Expressionism, which has a heavy use of shadows. So, as they're fighting through the shadows, it's just, really epic sword fight. So, yeah. It's really cool. For some reason, in all these old movies, during the sword fights, they speed up the footage. Has an interesting effect, but it makes it more epic. I just, like the fact that in Hollywood we've gotten to the point where we can train actors actually go that fast for real. But yeah. Anyway, the acting is great. For some reason, actually I know the reason, Basil Rathbone and Olivia de Havilland decided not to return. Basil Rathbone decided not to return because he didn't feel like sword fighting Errol Flynn again because he had done it twice before. Too bad, because I think Errol Flynn was almost at his level at this point. That would have been epic, but and Olivia de Havilland didn't return to this movie because she had already been in 2 costume pictures with Errol Flynn before, Captain Blood and The Adventures of Robin Hood. She didn't feel like coming back for another pirate movie opposite Errol Flynn, so she dropped out, and they had to cast Brenda Marshall. As you can see right there, that is not Olivia. Anyway, this could be considered sort of a sequel to, I think it's The Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex. that starred Errol Flynn as a different character, and it starred him opposite Queen Elizabeth. It's around the same historical time period. You know, the same actor across from the same historical figure. They used the same sets from Elizabeth and Essex for the Seahawk. So if you're really into old movies and you want like a more complete experience, more than what I got, check out Elizabeth and Essex, then watch the Seahawk. I haven't done it. I'd like to know the experience, so if you do that, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know what watching Elizabeth and Essex and then watching the Seahawk is like. I bet it's an experience. Anyway, this is the end of this pirate review. If you could, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Anything helps. Anyway, I will continue to do more pirate reviews. Yarr!